please.
That the agenda of this meeting be approved.
And I guess I'll second that. And then we have a set of minutes to be adopted.
That the minutes of the policy committee meeting held on May 12th, 2021 be adopted.
I will second that. And then the third item is trustee items. Does anyone have any items? Hi, Cynthia. No. Presentations nil, information items nil, discussion items nil. That takes us to action items, which that's Phil, policy 906, childcare.
Yeah, cool. Hi, everyone. I think, so a little bit of background on childcare policy. It's mandated now that every school district have a childcare policy. We used to have this used to live in a, what do you call those? Not a policy, but a regulation, thank you. And then we pulled that down to make sure that it matched with everything else that's been going on provincially. Myself and the Early Learning Committee have reviewed the policies, scanned other school districts' policies, and then presented, kind of cleaned it up in a way that we thought made the most sense, and have presented you here with the policy for childcare. And I think I don't exactly know how this works, but I think at the end of the day, we just need to figure out if we need to make some changes or pass a motion to adopt this as our childcare policy. Is that how this?
Yeah, may I, Rachel?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that the backdrop, you guys are going to hear a lot of information about the seamless childcare approach all day today. You're going to hear it in multiple meetings. Cynthia's been apprised of all of that through the Early Learning Committee. And as you're working through that today, the backdrop is you have to have this policy in place. And I think that's really the punchline. First things first, you have to have this policy or a policy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't like this one, it can be amended, certainly. But in order to proceed with any decision-making on all of the other early learning decisions, the most notable is going to be seamless day childcare?
Correct, yeah. Seamless
Day childcare. This would have to be enacted first. So you don't have to feel pressure to push it through today. We can come back on June 30th with it if you need more time. But if you do feel comfortable, it would get out in front of a lot of other things Phil will be navigating and Cynthia will be handling as well.
If I can
Okay, thanks, Lisa. Yeah, go ahead, Cynthia.
If I can jump in, I've taken quite a bit of time to read through the policy, and Phil provided a really, really extensive background document that outlined so much information. And I think the policy is really well thought out and it's really well worded. And my recommendation at this point would be that we did just adopt this policy if people were comfortable with that. And if Phil, if you were feeling 100% comfortable with it as it exists right now, that would be my recommendation.
Rachel, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Cynthia, and I think just to say that just if we were to adopt it as it is, that doesn't mean that it might not change over time as we learn more, and things are likely going to evolve with this over time anyway. So it's a start. Would that be a correct statement?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Did you have something else, Celeste? Sorry. No? Okay. Thanks, Phil, and for all your work on this. There is a recommendation to adopt the policy here. Is someone prepared to make that recommendation?
I'm happy to go ahead and make that recommendation, that the policy committee recommend the Board of Education adopt policy 906 childcare.
I'll second that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Any other questions? No, motion carried. And that takes us to adjournment. We are adjourned.
Actually, we don't have to technically.
We'll see everyone at the next meeting.
See you.
Yeah.
What is it?
We should probably roll straight into that meeting. I think we're going to be time challenged today, and we probably don't need a break after only 10 minutes of a meeting. So
Rick, can I have everyone just log off the this hyperlink and go into the in-camera one?